Welcome to Rabbits Media. On this series, we'll present a whirlwind rundown of all Academy Best Picture winners and nominees. Get your film geek on and join aboard on every Best Picture showdown. In this episode, we'll be covering the first 12 years from 1929 to 1940. Yep, it's gonna be a hell of a ride, so fasten your seatbelts and let's get to it. The very first Academy Awards ceremony was held in May 1929 at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, featuring production releases between August 1927 and August 1928. 6 silent movies made it to the Best Picture nominees list. All of the popular so-called talkies of the time were excluded from that list, such as The Jazz Singer, as of course such a contest wouldn't do their silent counterparts justice at all. Another sole peculiarity that characterizes this first Academy Awards ceremony was having not one, but 2 subcategories for Best Picture: Outstanding Picture and Unique and Artistic Picture. And such distinction never happened again. The nominees for Best Picture, or Outstanding Picture for that matter, were Seventh Heaven, Wings, The Racket, with the obvious winner being Wings. This epic war masterpiece was the only silent movie to win the Best Picture award, up until The Artist came in 2012 and won that category. It also was the first time that actors were filmed flying in the air, and one of the earliest widely released films to feature nudity. Now, regarding the Unique and Artistic Picture, the 3 nominees were Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans, The Crowd, Chang, A Drama of the Wilderness. And the one and only winner of this category was Sunrise. The silent romantic drama is the first professionally produced feature film with an actual soundtrack, and one of the earliest films to make use of back projection. While feted by critics, the movie wasn't a box office success though, as audiences were then clamoring for films in which actors spoke. The second Academy Awards ceremony was held in April 1930, featuring movies released between August 1st, 1928 and July 31st, 1929. No distinction was made whatsoever between silent and sound movies, and all awards went to movies with sound. The Best Picture nominations for that year went to all of Alibi. In Old Arizona, this movie was the first talkie to be shot outdoors. The Hollywood Review of 1929. The Broadway Melody, the first all-talking musical feature. The Patriot. This was the only silent movie to get a nomination that year for Best Picture. And the winner was The Broadway Melody. The Spree Cod Musical is the first sound film to win the Best Picture award, and the first production to use pre-recorded music on its soundtrack. It is certainly worth mentioning that this film has the lowest IMDb rating of all Best Picture Oscar winners.
There may be streets that have their sorrow, a smile today, a tear tomorrow. But
The third Academy Awards. The second ceremony of 1930 was held in November to honor films released between August 1st, 1929 and July 31st, 1930. Voting rules that year changed dramatically, as the nominations and winners were not only voted by the Board of Juries, but by the entire Academy members. And that year's nominees for Best Picture were All Quiet on the Western Front, the most violent American film of its time; The Big House, generally touted as being the first prison film, it effectively gave birth to a whole new genre; Disraeli, The Divorcee. This movie was shot without a single retake; The Love Parade, considered by many to be the first musical film in which the songs were integrated with the story.
All that have known are buried in the past. They couldn't last with you.
And the Oscar went to All Quiet on the Western Front.
I want to present to you Mr. Carl Laemmle, who is a real pioneer in the art of motion pictures, as well as the president of the Universal Film Corporation, whose company produced that marvelous production, All Quiet on the Western Front.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
This epic anti-war film is based on a 1929 novel of the same name by Erich Maria Remarque. It also was a huge commercial success, being the second most popular movie at the US box office in 1930. The fourth Academy Awards ceremony was held in November 1931 at the Biltmore Hotel, honoring movies released between August 1st, 1930 and July 31st, 1931. The nominees for Best Picture were Cimarron, the first film to be nominated for every major Academy Award; East Lynne, Skippy, The Front Page. Some consider this to be the first screwball comedy; Traderhorn. And the winner was Cimarron. Guess there's always a first, and this is the first Western to win an Oscar. Not any Oscar, but the Best Picture Oscar.
I'll show them first crack. The Oklahoma wigwam prints all the news all the time, knowing no law except the law of God and the government of these United States. Furthermore, the time has come to give the red man full citizenship.
The fifth Academy Awards was held on November 1932 and featured movies released between August 1st of the year before and July 31st of the same year. The nominees for Best Picture were Aerosmith. This is the first American sound film to feature a black character with an actual college degree, who speaks perfect English, doesn't shuffle, and all in all isn't depicted in Hollywood's usual stereotypical way of the time. Bad Girl, 5-star final. Grand Hotel, the biggest Hollywood hit of 1932. 1 Hour with You. Shanghai Express. This was the highest grossing film of 1932 in both the US and Canada. The Champ. The Smiling Lieutenant. And the Oscar went to Grand Hotel. As of the release date of this episode, this is the only film to have won the Academy Award for Best Picture without being nominated in any other category. It was a box office blockbuster, which recouped its budget 5 times over in only the first year of its release. The 6th Academy Awards. In 1933, the Academy changed the eligibility year to match the calendar year. The ceremony was then held in March 1934 and considered films released from August 1932 to December 1933. And that year's nominees for Best Picture were 42nd Street. This film was so financially successful that it saved Warner Brothers from going bankrupt. A Farewell to Arms. Cavalcade. This film is based on a 1931 play of the same title by Noel Coward. I'm a Fugitive from a Chain Gang. Based on the true story of Robert E. Burns, the film caused a lot of controversy, leading to the pardon of its main character, who was still on the lam when it first hit the theaters. Lady for a Day. Little Women. The Private Life of Henry VIII. First non-US film to receive a Best Picture Oscar nomination. She Done Him Wrong. At only 66 minutes, this is the shortest feature film to ever receive an Academy Award nomination for Best Picture. Smiling Through. State Fair. And the winner for that year was Cavalcade. This is Fox's first film production to win the Best Picture Oscar.
I don't care. This is our moment, complete and heavenly. I'm not afraid of anything. This is our own, forever.